Hi guys, welcome to TechMo. And in this tutorial, what we are going to do is that we will be learning how we can use CSV data as well as JSON data to run our Postman collection. So, if you have no idea about what is collection and how to run test cases or probably anything about Postman, you can follow up my other tutorials and they are very good. And you will get to know what is collection, what is environment variable. Alright, so let's start. So in this tutorial, our main motive is to use a certain kind of CSV files where we have a particular endpoint that we wanted to test, but the point is that we have to make it data driven. By data driven, I mean is that I have to use certain kind of data from CSV to make a request. For example, let's say I have a login page and I wanted to test for 10 different usernames and passwords. So that's why I can use a CSV file and make a 10 request using the CSV file, as well as if I have a data in JSON, I can do that. Alright, so let's start. So what are data variables in Postman? So variable inside Postman mainly are if you have followed my other tutorials, they are generally used as a curly braces. Alright. So suppose you have a particular CSV file that you wanted to have. It's a kind of your data file, or you can say test data. So what you can do is that you can access this test data in Postman using data.username, where username is your column ID, and or you can access using the second method where you can just pass it like data and after the username. Alright. So the first point is that the first row of that CSV file has to be, you can say, the name of the variables that you wanted to access in Postman. And if it is a JSON, it doesn't matter because the key value pairs key is always unique in JSON. Right? So just make sure that your CSV files are in unique. Alright. So this is how it looks like. So generally, your CSV file will contain comma separated values where we have a user ID, username, password, etc. And after that we have different rows containing different values. So what you can do is that, as I have already mentioned you, that curly braces will give you username and password in your request. And if you wanted to console.log about, so you can access these variables for example, your CSV data one by one using data.username or data curly braces password. Alright. So we'll see in the demo. Right? So this is just an example. And if it is related to JSON, what you can do is that you will just use the keys with JSON. For example, username, password, Twitter URL, and user ID are your keys, and you can directly access them using data.username, password, Twitter URL, or user ID. Right. So now let's come to the test case. How you can verify it? Verification of test cases in Postman is very easy. What you can do is that you just write test and body contain username, where response.body will give you the JSON or probably, and what you can do is you can just verify it using that if it has a data.username. For example, if you are expecting admin to come as your response, so what you can do, data.username will contain admin and it will just point it. Alright. So how can we use the CSV data as well as JSON data at the runtime? So what you can do is that you can pass it when you are running your collection, and that will be seen in this So let's come to demo part. So now I have a Postman open. Let me make it full screen. So I have a Postman right now, and I don't have any collection, anything else. So what I do is that I'll create simple collection. Let's call it test. Create it. And I have one request, that is it's a dummy request. What it does is that when I pass T as well as T, and I do a get request, it passes me that what kind of argument that you have passed. So I have passed username and password. Right? And it passes certain extra information, but I'm not interested. So now what I have to do is that, suppose I have a particular CSV file. Let me show you one CSV file that I have. So this is my CSV file look like. It has a username and password, and it has a 3 values. three rows which contain a username and password. So what I want is that I wanted to run for three cases. Like I wanted to test if admin 1 to 3 testing and local are coming back or not. So what we can do is that we have to write a test case here first, right? So let me select one test case contains one especially. Alright. So now I have a test case. So let's do its username. Let's say username verification, right? And we'll just omit it and we'll just say this one already has, and we'll pass data dot user. Alright. And what we have to do is that we have to pass in a curly braces usernames and select password. It may be wrong, guys, but just let's see how it works, because we are just more interested how we can pass. So now what you have to do is that you have to save this request in your collection first of all. Now I have a request saved. Let me rename it. Let's call get. So let's do one thing. Let's try to run, and this will open a collection runner. And what we have to do is that we have to select the file of where it is. So I have a file. Let me search where it is. It's in my team. So I have a CSV file. I have selected it. So it's already automatically coming that it has a 3 iterations, right? So first one, it has already counted as that it will be a particularly a column, so it will ignore, right? And now if I wanted to preview, I can preview the data, like okay, the username password are placed, right? And I don't have environment variable right now, but let's see. Just wanted to tell you guys, if you wanted to see your logs, you can open the show Postman console, right? So it will give you that if you any kind of error that. So let's do one thing. Let's start run. So all of them have passed probably. So let's see. So what you can do that after you have a result. So what you can do guys is that you can see what kind of request that Postman has sent, right? So you just hover over it and it will give you that okay, this is the username and this is the password I have. So username was correct and password probably it was not able to pick because I have misspelled the password. Right? So and my test case was to verify username only. So that's why all of my test case is passed. So let me do one thing. I just make it correct and save it again and try to run it again for you guys. Okay. So again, I have to give the JSON file. Oh, sorry, CSV file. It will cut the. Okay. Now it's done, and you can see that admin 1, 2, 3 are coming, and request header and reference body you can save, and you can see the response body also that I have echo admin. Alright, so this was a very basic one with the CSV. And if you wanted to run with JSON, the similar way you can do it. So instead of JSON, you can select the JSON file. I'll show you how JSON looks like. And it again says that it has 3 things. I can preview the JSON. JSON look like this only, similar one. And it will again do the same thing, and it will give us a result. So this is how. Let me show you how JSON file look like. I have here. So this is how JSON look like. It's a similar one. It's a JSON array which contains username password. So we have successfully created a particular test and we have run it into a collection runner. Alright. So that's all in this tutorial. And if you wanted to learn more about it, Postman and all, just do check out my other tutorials, and I will be coming up with some advanced tutorials in Postman where we will be basically writing a full framework in Postman and from end-to-end perspective. So stay tuned and share among your friends and all. Thank you.